Hey there, this is Angie with ADS, and yes, I'm here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. And admittedly, this place is just a little pigsty today. I mean, you can really see I purposefully left it like this because this honestly is the real. This is really for real how my workspace ends up. It becomes just a clutterful mess. Snacks, paper, crap, everything. All on my desk, all in my area, and it's not a lot of space as you can see. So this is the space. It's a little junky little mess. However, it's that time, Kanban board time, and when I do this, obviously, at times I just need to clean this anyway because it gets on my nerves. So I end up tidying it up about once a week, but honestly, it just gets right back to this every week. To be quite honest, but for sanity purposes, it helps me to see it clean at least once a week. So I will be cleaning all this up, and we're also going to do this Kanban board behind me. So I will explain all that, but first, to tidy. Little dusting. So now the space is clean. Yay! Finally, clarity, space. Thank you. All right, now to this board. All right, now to the board. This is the Kanban board, and I've gotten a lot of questions about this Kanban board. I'm going to explain it to you. And no, this is not a new concept. It's been around for ages. It's a Japanese concept, and there are many iterations of this. There are so many different iterations of all this. You can get electronic forms of it. There's so many different software programs for it, but personally, I'm the most physical touch, tactile person ever when it comes to stuff like this. I love the fact that you can take this task, this to-do item, move it to an action area and pull it down here to your accomplished area when you're finished. It's so gratifying. It makes you feel very productive, like you really got some stuff done because you did. So now I'm going to explain to you what all this is right here. This is from the previous 90 days, and granted, I am behind on getting this done. So much has gotten behind, and lesson number one about Kanban boards that I've learned so far is do not beat yourself up over this board. Do not beat yourself up over this board. This is meant to help you, not to hurt you. So it is a learning process. This is going to be my third Kanban board now. I did one back in October. I did one, I think it was February. And so I should have done one in May. It is now June. And I got behind on some things. And that is life, my dears. That happens. So do not beat yourself up over it. I'm not going to beat myself up. Do not beat yourself up if you do not accomplish the stuff that you felt that you should accomplish. These are not the everyday, quote unquote, urgent fires, important emails, last minute meetings, client requests that come up. That is not what this is. What this is the priority. This is the most important, not necessarily urgent. This is not the board of urgency. This is the board of importance. So anything that makes it in this accomplished area is fantastic. It's great. It's outstanding. You did a great job. I am telling myself that because I could look at this board and say, oh my gosh, I can look at it one of two ways. I can look at it and say, oh my gosh, I was such a failure in this past quarter. Or I can look at it and say, you know what? This is what you accomplished. And what did you learn? You learned quite a lot, didn't you? I did. And I'm going to share that with you, okay? So I'm going to break this down for the people who are new, and those of you who've seen this before, you can just learn along with me because this is the stuff that I've learned the past quarter too. So if you're new to Kanban boards, this can either be, this one's set up vertically, but you can also set it up horizontally. If you have a big, huge, white, dry erase board, fantastic. Like, you should totally use that. I just use this because this is in my personal space and a mirror is becoming. It's very lovely and it fits with my stuff and it suits my needs at the moment. So if most importantly, it fits in this space. So that's good because it makes me focus on the most important things all the time. And you'll notice that these are color-coded stickies. That's because each color block represents a different goal area in my life or my business, okay? Because I'm putting both on this board. So it's either, it's a different color represents a different goal area. For instance, this blue colorway to the left is all revenue generating activities, things that generate revenue. And then this light blue is kind of like awareness types of stuff for your business. This dark fuchsia pink is like the mental health stuff, the stuff that keeps you sane, the stuff that gives you energy and gives you that creative fuel that you need. And also, you know, physicality, workout, all that. So that is this dark pink area. This light pink is stuff from my book. This light yellow was organizational stuff. This deeper yellow, which there's many that got accomplished, were all, this was all nonprofit stuff, which I had 2 major events this quarter, which sincerely took up so much of my time, way more time than I thought it would. And hence why so much of my other stuff is not done and that stuff is done. As you can see all this yellow down here. And then way to the far right is personal finances, money. You know, so, and you can pick whatever categories you want for yourself. This is just what I did for myself. And so this area up here is your like to do action items area. This is like the stuff that you want to get done in 90 days. Not for the year. This is not a year board. This is a 90-day board. So the next quarter, what's the stuff that you really, you know, it's not the urgent. Again, it's not the urgent. It's the most important non-urgent stuff that you would like to get done in the next, and you think you can get done in the next 90 days, okay? So as you can see, I have plenty up here because, again, this stuff with these events took up far more than I thought it would. But you can see what I intended. This, and right here, this is just washi tape. This like kind of coppery lines is washi tape. And I just made lines here. And then this skinny little middle area is the stuff that you are doing this week. So, you know, like try not to pile too much in this area, but this is the stuff that you're doing this week and goes into your weekly calendar. Really, honestly, it's the stuff that you need to schedule in. And then now this is the beautiful, accomplished area. So when you finish something, boom, you get to move it to the accomplished area, and it's so great. It's so great. I super love it. I gotta do more of it. So in this past quarter, I can tell you again that these 2 events that I did for nonprofits that I'm involved with, I should not have done as much as I did, but I did. And it took a lot more time than I thought it would. And that's why so many of these other important items didn't get done. And I learned something about that in this past quarter. I learned something about that, which is, like, you are not super woman. Like, as much as you love to be that for everyone and every organization out there that could use you, there's only one of you, darling. There's only one of you. So this is exactly what I think the Kanban board was meant to teach you, is that you are a finite resource. Your time here is finite, and so you need to act accordingly. And it just goes to show you that your time will get spent somewhere, and where it gets spent is up to you. So that really showed me a lot this past quarter, and we'll go over that some more. But I just wanted to show you like why there's so much still up here, and all these gold stickies got moved is because this area definitely got done and so much didn't. But there are still some things that got done. So, again, not gonna beat myself up about it. But it is a lesson, and I'm learning every time, and I'm so grateful for all this. It's good. I count it all good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear this board. I'm going to clear it, and then I'm going to work on the stickies to go up for quarter 3. This is for the 3rd quarter of the year. So this is to get us ready for the next 90 days, and that ultimately gets pulled from a plan that I have. That there's a 2-year plan, a 1-year plan, 6-month plan, which gets broken down into 2 90-day segments. And so this is 90-day planning, and so I'll be referring back to that plan, kind of resetting, reevaluating what worked, what didn't. But when I put up more stickies up here, it's going to be based on that overarching plan, so that we're ultimately still shooting for that main goal, right? Okay. All right, so now to clear this board. And you're going to want to also clean your mirror, dry erase board, whatever it is that you're using, because it will definitely get dusty after a couple days, and you don't want dust because sticky notes don't stick to dust. Clean. Okay, so this is the aftermath of the Kanban board. It's all the stickies, accomplished, unaccomplished, in progress, all that, all in a little pile. And I've now, over dinner, took a little break, went through those and compiled a new little list of what I want to do next in the next quarter. Again, this is based off of what I know are my my goals for the 2-year plan, 1-year plan, and all that. So I have just gone through these individually because I wanted to make sure, I wanted to carry over anything that was remaining that I still wanted to work on. And I also put some thought towards, like, why didn't those things get accomplished? This quarter was easy because I know those 2 events really put a damper on a lot of these plans. So that's not too hard. But I was listening to Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, when he was talking about what to do when a task perpetually stays on your list and doesn't get done. And there were some thoughts around that, like, could you delegate that? Or, like, could you have a virtual assistant take care of that task for you? If it's something that you dread, if it's something that you don't look forward to for any reason, is that something you could pay a virtual assistant that doesn't cost a lot, especially if they're overseas, to do for you? So, point well taken. All right, so now what I'm going to do is transfer this list to my new stickies to put up there. All right, so now my clipboard is full of these stickies, which are gonna go up on this board right here. So I put them on here because it needs some kind of surface to stick to before you put it up there. So I think it's pretty much all complete, and now it's going up on the board. One thing I said I was going to do is incorporate a new tradition with the Kanban board. So I got this as a reminder, and it came to me like, I should really do this with the Kanban board at Traffic Sales and Profit. We just got back from that like last week-ish. And so, and something little Mara Tyler said was to not forget to do your celebrations along the way. So critical. So I have not been keeping track of celebrations. I do keep a grateful journal, but I don't always necessarily put like business celebrations in there. Not always. And it's a lot to look through because it's every day for it's every day for the past 90 days. So I just quickly thought of some things. I will share some of those celebrations with you. So really quickly, just recently we got the #1 place for the Soup short story contest. Soup is Something or Other Publishing. #1 place for most votes for our short story idea, the Netherlands movie. So you can actually vote for that now. If you go to bit.ly/voteadsmith, VOTEAD Smith, you can vote for my short story. It's just a synopsis of a short story, so very cool. Yes, another win is a client got in a conference that she wanted. So she's a speaker, trainer type, new coach, speak trainer type, and got in a conference that she wanted, which was so awesome. So we actually worked on that together, got her bio package together and all that, and helped her craft her first submission to be a speaker at this major conference, and she got in. Score for ADS. Love it. All right. Love that when our clients get our stuff. TSP, Traffic Sales and Profit, counting that as a celebration because that was an awesome experience. So was Hope Global Forum, but this in particular was right down our lane of everything that we do. Traffic Sales and Profit is what we're all about in this space. So loved everything about that. Of course, and even though I complained about them because they took up so much of my Kanban board and so much of my task and took away from all my business stuff I wanted to do last quarter, I must admit that the past two major award things, one was an award show and the other was Brand Tech Day, which I mentioned a couple times on this channel. Those two major events, one in April and one in May, took up, I promise you, my whole life this first quarter. But they were major accomplishments. I mean, NOMA's Inspire Awards, that contest that we ran on social media was fantastic. It got phenomenal organic results. It was great. And then we just heard so many great comments about that first award thing that we did. And Brand Tech Day, same thing, you know, so those are both things to be proud of and both things that I personally led and I can feel good about. So even though it took away from so much of my business, I must say those were good wins from an event planning, branding standpoint. And I'm very proud of the work that me and my teams did, respectively, for both of those events. And then finally, got a new client this past quarter, so that was awesome. We do not take on a lot of clients. Here and there, we may take on slight, small project work, but in terms of long-standing clients that are with us month after month after month, it's awesome when we do get to welcome aboard a new client, so that was cool. Little celebrations for ADS. That's done, dusted, sorted, all that. So y'all notice something here is that I have so much more space over here now, and that's because I don't have those events to plan for anymore, so I have so much more space for my stuff. However, I don't feel obligated to fill that space at this moment. I made a couple of different changes to this thing that I want you to see. So one, you know, certain ones like this one, this is my like pink, this dark pink is like mental health, creativity spawning types of activities. It's stuff like yoga class and going to the store, my friends told me about to go to, and then also mani-pedi day, things like that. Rather than doing like yoga class 10 times on this board because I want to go 10 out of the next 12 weeks, I just put yoga class times 10. And that way, even if I do it one time, I can take it down and I can always add another sticky, like, you know, 9 to go or something like that, and just keep adding them. That way, I'm not writing out 10 of these, taking up my board. And if I don't get to it by any chance, I didn't waste 10 stickies writing those out, but I could have. So I did like yoga class times 10, mani-pedi day times 6, river walk times 24, so that's ideally twice a week in that 90-day period. Car wash times 3, flowers times 5, fresh flowers, you know, things like that make you happy and smile. This light pink area is for my book. So I have stuff like plot planning day, just to like check the plot, check for holes in the plot. And I can also sketch out remaining scenes as needed. This is a passion project, you know, so this is all like a specific passion project separate from my business. All this in blue is for the business. So the very kind of sky blue to the very far left are revenue generating activities. This lighter blue is for awareness purposes. So it's things like e-blasts and all of that. ADS e-blast in July, ADS e-blast in August, September, blah, blah, blah. You know, so all that's up there. And then this bright orange this time is for personal finance types of stuff. And also, you know, some things that fall kind of in that area. So that's the board. And again, things will move down, stickies will move down as they get completed. So as they get completed, they're gonna go in this fantastic area that I love so much, the accomplished zone. Love it. All right, so that is it today for the Kanban board. What questions do you have about Kanban boards? This is just the very simple board that I think anybody can do. It's been great for me. You can make Kanban boards quite complicated and, put them in electronic mode and have them in teams where people can like check off points and all this. It can get quite different for people who are in physical product spaces. But for me, and just holding myself accountable for my business, this is fun and it's great, and it also keeps the focus on the things that are the most important. If you've not read that book, The One Thing, it's all about this. 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. So many elements about that are on this. So, all right, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did, and I hope to see you back here again. We come out every Tuesday with videos. Sometimes we have bonus videos. Right now we're kind of in the middle of a series. I kind of took a break from that series to do this because it was much needed. But we just went through Traffic Sales and Profit, a conference that I thoroughly enjoyed. So we've been covering those topics in a series. We'll go back to that after this video. So some of those are bonus videos. They might come out on a Thursday, they might come out on a Saturday, Sunday, but generally always you'll find a video out here on Tuesdays is the day I super promise to get it to you. All right, so see you back here, if not sooner, on Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe. You want to make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you've not done that already. If you're listening to this on YouTube, Google Play, iTunes on podcasts, sorry, it's not iTunes, it's Apple Podcasts. I promise it'll take a minute to do that. It'll take a minute to get there for me. Apple Podcasts is so much different to say than iTunes, but I'll get it. Okay, so Google Play or Apple Podcast, wherever you're listening to this, be sure to subscribe. Leave some comments for me. I would love to hear from you, and I'll check in with you later. Cheers. Mwah.